Welcome back to the Rabbit's Chair. So, last week we spent a bit of time shearing the sheep and protecting the trees down here from the sheep and starting to clear up outside the front of the carousel again. So, this week we're going to have to finish off clearing up outside the front of the carousel, and we'll catch up with some of the work that we actually did last week that was just some of the big jobs. So we'll have a look at what we did with those. We'll also clear the Elsa caravan, so one of the residency caravans, because we have a visitor coming next week and so we need to prepare it. And we'll also have a look at our system of doing things and why, as we're clearing, we don't clear everything, and we seem to have a lot of things lying around, or we have a lot of nettle still growing, and we'll just have a look around and look at some of the reasons why we do that. So yeah, let's go, let's see what happens. So another patch of nettles, and we've got quite a few patches of nettles, probably too many, but they're quite difficult to maintain constantly. But we also like to leave patches of nettles, primarily because we get lots of insects on them. So at the moment there's this nice little ladybird hanging on it, and then if I go to this side of it, I just noticed that we've got like a young ladybird just there, and there's a fly just kind of like hovering around on that one somewhere. And another ladybird one. So there's a few over in the garden. I've lost that one there. Where's it gone? There's a young one. So there's a few in the garden. So we're going to have a look at what Sally's got in the garden with another ladybird.
So here's a little ladybird and enjoying munching on these gooseberry leaves because there's quite a lot of aphids. So hopefully they'll keep them at bay. I think we need to mend the fencing a little, but we're so glad that Rena's sticking her head into the vegetable patch and eating the nettles. Thanks for a good job, but just watch that fencing, girl.
So since the naughty little goats kept trying to get in, I've just kind of tied it up for now. It should be strong enough until I get around to actually put a new post in and knock it in. But it wobbles a little bit. It'll be fine though. That's all tied up, and the garden is safe once again.
So the elderflower's out in full bloom, and it's one of the kind of most attractive times of year with the elderflower. Well, it is for me. But as we come across on the elderflower, where's it gone? We have here, oh, and she's just moved. So there's some black fly on here, and the ladybird was just sort of having her dinner. So it seems to be quite a year for ladybird and black fly. We don't put anything on them. We don't tend to control them with chemicals or anything. We tend to, where possible, we work by encouraging nature to kind of take care of itself. And it's a bit like when we're working with our animals, using the sheep or working with the sheep to control the nettles as far as we can, and working with the goats. And it's kind of the attitude we take with the fields as well. So we don't tend to put anything on the fields other than the manure. So yeah, let's go see what else we can find then. So this year's been a particularly good or bad year for buttercups, depending how you see it. But we've had quite a year for buttercups this year. And we've one or two in this field, but it's not normally as covered as this. So that's kind of left us with, well, that's kind of left us to look at some research, really. So we've been looking into buttercup, and we know that they're not very nice when they're growing, and they have a bit of a poisonous sap to them, but when they're dried it's quite harmless. So we're just looking at the roughage quality that they actually add to the hay, also looking at the benefits for pollination, so which insects are attracted to them, which bees they support. So we don't just want to get rid of them. I can see a bee there actually, but that one went into the clover. But we don't just want to get rid of the buttercups if they can be beneficial. So we're just, in the moment, we're just sort of checking out what we do with them, because we are slightly overrun with them this year. So it's nice to see how we start to, how we attempt to keep a balance. And we don't always get it right. And we're always learning about new stuff. And that's the thing, we quite like finding out new things. So we keep looking and we keep trying to film them. And they're incredibly difficult to kind of film bugs and stuff on trees without waiting for hours and hours and hours. So we'll keep trying to capture some footage of those and put them into these from time to time. So big jobs going on. Let's go see how Sally's getting on with the front and have a look at what we did last week to prepare for it. Go that way a bit.
I want to push this one in a bit.
Oh, because it goes that way.
Yeah.
Both go that way.
Yeah, then we'll push it out. But I need to shift it because I can't get onto it out.
Oh,
Is that enough?
That's it.
is that enough? What do you want to do?
I think that's it.
Sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure?
Mhm.
Go round.
That's it, isn't it?
I'm going to go back. Ready?
You're going back further.
It's got a big gap.
So it's over. You've got the top.
Okay, leave it. All done.
We'll come back and have a look at that in a bit, but it's starting to take shape out there and getting a lot clearer. So yeah, let's have a look at the other things that are going on up there later on. Now we've got to prepare for the alpaca shearing, so it's a case of moving things about. So yeah, let's go move that stuff. This is where the alpaca were over the winter, where we were filming them earlier on in the year. So we now need to clear this out a bit and clear a bit of a runway down there for us to be able to shear the alpaca. And it's quite an intense process at times, but this year, because of the nature of the year, we're not as involved as we usually are, so we can sort of spectate a bit more this time. So we get involved where we can and where it's possible, but usually we're fully involved in it and moving the alpaca around. So anyway, let's get this place cleared up. I'm going to start the tractor and make a run down here for them. Don't think I'll get it though. Okay, so right, just seen as I've started the tractor. Where's he gone? Oh, there. So I put this tarpaulin on to cover the tires. And today, a little toad has decided to hide under the tires. It's really difficult to see. They're really well camouflaged. And the chickens aren't out at the moment, otherwise they'd be really hassling it. And the dogs are over there and they don't really care. But yeah, I don't know what sort of toad it is. We'll find out what sort of toad it is, but I'm going to carefully move this stuff out of the way and leave him be. I might cover him back up. Okay. That's him, somewhere under there, safely covered back up. So now I know he's there. We'll gently put the tines back under when we park this tractor up. So that's pretty much it for the alpaca shearing space. They'll come up this little chute. I'm going backwards down here at the moment. So, let's see. So, that's pretty much it. So this is where we hold them when they come in. And then they go one at a time up here. Down this little channel. Solly won't be here doing this hay, but and then out into this bit where we'll shear them. And then once they're shorn, that gate is over there and they go through here into the yard. That's the theory anyway. So that was a bit of a last minute job because we've got to kind of fit into when people can come and sort it out. And they'll be coming next week, so that'll be in next week's Rabbit's Chat. So yeah, look out for that. Now, let's go and have a look for some more bugs. Let's go see whether we can find anything. There might not be anything there, but let's go and have a look. So we seem to have loads of young ladybirds about in this pile of nettles over here. There's just a little clump of nettles at the back of the farm. So where have they gone now? There we go. It seems to be a good year for them this year. They seem to be quite happily munching along on them. So there seem to be loads of ladybirds this year, and well, we'll keep watching them. We'll keep looking to see what's going on with the insects and with the birds, and obviously keep showing you how we try to manage things with our animals, like the sheep and the goats. So we'll go back and have a look at the stuff that we were moving from in front of the carousel. So we moved the tractors. Ed's wanting to do some work on one of them, so we moved it to replace it. And there's a little speeded up clip to have a look at, so let's go and have a look at that. Right, we need to go and sort out the Elsa caravan for this visitor. So let's go. Sally's going to give you a bit of an indication of who's been here, some memories of the people who's been on residency. So yeah, let's go see what Sally's got to say.
There's kind of all these little trinkets been left behind, which are quite nice and useful, and kind of internet things if we need them or anything, but you just never know what you're going to find in these cupboards. I think the caravan's all ready. All cleared and mostly tidy. At the moment, all the cupboards are still full of lots of things. Little box of matches there from C.I.A from the QWERTY group. And some images going to Berlin, I believe, and this is having a coffee with Daniel Devlin.
So it's good to reminisce again, and really this time of year we would be having a gathering and would be seeing people again, but unfortunately we can't. So it is the solstice this week and we're gonna have a fire, and I don't know, there's loads of elderflower snowing over me at the moment, so we're probably going to pick some of the elderflower and boil it down over the fire to see what we can make from it. So yeah, we'll have that in next week's Rabbit's Chair though. So this week we've kind of slowed down a bit. We've got the front of the carousel getting cleared out and having a look around for the bugs and things, and got a bit of preparation done for the alpaca. So next week on the Rabbit's Chair, I think we'll have a look at what we've done over the solstice, and we'll have the alpaca shearing. So yeah, join us next week on the Rabbit's Chair.
Everybody leaves remnants and we kind of use the room, so I think that's it. Nice and clear. But we were actually expecting a guest, but somebody else has turned up, so we have a different guest to be staying in the caravan. So it's quite exciting. All will be revealed next time on the Rabbit's Chair.